What's up, Libra? Welcome to my channel. This is going to be your May monthly reading for all Libras, Sun, Moon, Rising, even Venus. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm not claiming Libra this month because I feel like we're having a little bit of problems with things. So this month, as far as the read goes, I wanted to do things a little bit differently. Instead of taking all that time to shuffle the cards on camera, I decided to shuffle them off of the camera. If this can save you 2 to 3 minutes of watch time, then fuck it. Let's do it. I know everybody's busy, has lives, kids, jobs, everything. So the cards are already shuffled and laid out. Last month we talked about Libras really needing to change the way we think, right? That new ways of thinking would spark new great things. I feel like we're still in that fog. In this read, we've got a lot of sword signs or sword cards here. Now, sword is air, that is our suit, but in a reading, hella sword cards suck. I hate it. Like, I almost hate that it's related to my sign. But I like it in another way because it really gives you kind of that duality in what you need to be doing. It's like swords, I feel like, really kind of pull out the shadow sides of us or show this shadow sides of us. Not all of them, but the majority. They're not the best cards, let's be honest. Now, with this energy of all the swords, and again, going back to me saying I feel like there needs to be a new way of thinking to spark newness. It feels like there's a bit of resistance, but it feels like the resistance mainly comes because there's not clarity in what it is exactly that you want. Okay? So, what's unseen, bottom of the deck, Page of Swords. Someone else got this card. And I feel like it might have been bottom of the deck. Anyways, it's been showing itself this month. So, pages, we know they come on the cusp of new ideas and things. Swords, we know that's communication, that's thought processes, all of that good stuff. I feel like be mindful if you're one of these Libras who's kind of giving yourself some negative talk. I feel like Libras in general are just at the tail end of this phase, and it doesn't feel so cute, but it's all for a reason, right? I always like to try to find the silver lining in every situation. So let's just start, and then maybe it'll start to make more sense. It's kind of hard to explain. It's funny. I really don't feel this Libra energy for me personally, which I'm happy about. I feel like I did come out of it though. So for everybody, it may resonate differently, but let's just get started. So in the past, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So whenever we see sevens in tarot, that always lets us know that this is someone who is in the middle of like questing, or like, trying to find their way, their truth, right? Kind of. Now, Pentacles has to do with money, health, anything tangible, anything that we can see, anything, like that, earthly things. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is all about reaping what you sow, right? It's really about putting effort in things and sitting back to watch how and if they flourish. Now, what's following this Seven of Pentacles for the present is the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is someone who's bored and dissatisfied with their offers, right? This is someone who's not interested. I feel like for a lot of Libras, this energy of this not interested, bored, dissatisfied feelings comes from you guys in the past trying to put effort in all these different things, some of them important to you, some of them not. But really, I feel like it was like almost like you guys are just like, well, I'm trying to make a change. I'm trying to make a move. I'm trying to make moves. I'm trying to elevate myself. So I'm just going to try here, 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 and here. It's almost like playing the lotto. Like you guys are just throwing in these different numbers. I feel like in the past, it was almost without really thinking about what feels good to you. On an emotional level, it was just kind of like, what's going to get me the money? What can I do? What's this thing? What's this thing? And now you find yourself being bored with these options. Because it's like you realize, like, in whatever, like, I know a lot of Libras have been dealing with financial struggles in the months prior. So it's almost like whatever changes you were trying to make in an effort to get out of feeling, those feelings of lack, it's like you were just kind of trying for everything, right? Like just trying for everything to number one, say that you did and to make an effort. And just kind of trying to be open to see what it is you guys fell into. But it's almost like there wasn't any heart behind some of the decisions. It was just a matter of, I need the money or I need this. So now you're finding that you're just kind of bored with these options. I feel very strongly for a lot of you guys, this does have to do with work or creative endeavors, even though it could also have to do with your love life too, because a cup is about emotion. It does talk about love a lot of times, right? So maybe there's been work that you guys have been putting in with a job, a project, or an individual, and you just kind of been throwing shots here and there to see, if it feels good, see if they bite, and you're like, really, I just kind of don't care. This is kind of whack, and actually, I don't know if this is what I want to do, right? I actually don't know if this is what I care about. Fours always speak to a pause. It doesn't matter if it's a Four of Cups, Four of Wands, Four of Swords, Four of Pentacles. They're always pausing. This person is pausing under the tree because they're just like, I don't even care about these options going forward. So I really feel like whatever it is that you guys have been working on and things that you've been trying to build, almost some of those things you're looking back now at them like, oh no, that was cool for them, but for now, I'm just not really feeling it type thing. Future, we've got the Strength card. So you could be dealing with a Leo, right? But the Strength card is just really about having that perfect balance of strength. You've got a woman who is taming the beast, who is holding the lion's mouth closed with this masculine energy, right? That's masculine energy. You've got a female, feminine energy controlling it, right? So I really feel like if this isn't a person that you guys are dealing with, if this isn't like a Leo, I feel like it's just like through this moment that you guys are experiencing with this Four of Cups, it's almost like you guys need to sit in it, and it's like you need to really sit in it where you are right now to fill out where you want to be, and in the end that will make for better opportunities, right? It's going to take a little strength on your part. It's going to take some bravery on your part, right? Because it's brave to go up to a lion and hold its fucking mouth. I mean, who's going to do that? I'm not. You know what I mean? It's going to take bravery on your part. It's going to take strength. It's going to take patience. And it's going to take the ability to connect, right? It's like people who can talk to animals, people who, like the dog whisperer, and what was that one show with the cats where the cats were all bad as hell? My Cat from Hell or something. I think it was My Cat from Hell. It's like they have to go to this different place of connection in order to connect with these animals, right? So it's almost like you guys are going to find you're going to have to go into this different place to connect to your strength, because you're focused on all the wrong shit. You've got the Nine of Swords, which is a miserable energy. Like this is someone who just feels like shit. They can't sleep. They've got their problems on their mind all the time. It's like, you know, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna keep adding swords, keep adding swords, keep adding swords. You already can't sleep. Um, it just seems like whatever you're focused on, which for me it feels like feelings of lack, you're letting it do too much to your head. If this is financial things that you're worried about, you're not going to get that 10 of Pentacles if your energy is vibrating on a 9 of Swords, right? To be 10 of Pentacles and to get 10 of Pentacles, what really calls for is that strength energy that you guys are going to be really having to pick and pull from. It's like me going and trying to watch a Beyonce special on HBO, but I'm on Showtime. And I'm mad that I can't see the fucking special on Showtime knowing that it's on channel HBO. It's like, girl, whether it's a love that you're wanting, whether it's a whether it's a relationship or whether it's a work situation or whether it's to be closer with your family, whatever it is that you want, I feel like the problem is you're vibrating on this frequency. You're on the wrong channel. Beyonce is not on Showtime. She's on HBO. Like, no, you have to let this go. Because the thing is, it's fucking with your head. It's fucking with your sleep. And then that in turn messes with your perception and your reality and your confidence to move forward, right? Clarity needs to be found. We need some clarity. Which Libras don't like to make a damn decision, but guess what? Sometimes just got to do it. Queen of Swords, that is our energy. This woman is straightforward. No fluff. She's going to do what's best for the collective, and she'll think about herself later if she thinks about herself at all. Now, a lot of you guys, this could be the problem, is that you're almost like whatever this thing is, especially if it's a work situation, it's almost like all these little things that you were trying to go for and include yourself in, it's like you were almost doing it because you felt like it was what you were supposed to do. And now that's got you in your head because it's like, that's not really even what I want. And you guys are going to gain clarity or need to gain clarity. I really do feel like a lot of you guys will have someone in your life that will probably help with that. It could be another air sign. It could be an older person. It could be a mother, someone who just gives really good advice, good practical advice. I feel like that's coming in for you guys. Good practical advice, which is going to aid you in having the strength to move forward, right? It's going to help you cut out these bad thoughts and aid you to move forward. I feel like some of you, if you're going through it, definitely check out the self-help sections of the bookstores. There's lots of good reads. If you guys are interested in some that have really helped me, you can totally email me or leave a comment down below and I'll kind of share with you some of my favorite things. Because I really feel like this is I really feel like you guys are mind fucking yourself, pretty much. But I do feel like you will have people around you that kind of help you to see things clearer, who will keep it real with you, even if it kind of hurts. You know what I mean? It's about, like, it's that energy that's like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, girl, but this is what's true. And that could be what you guys are avoiding. I feel like you guys want to avoid a fight. You guys are trying to do the right thing. You guys are trying to avoid chaos. So in your mind, you're going about things, whatever that, by any means necessary, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily vibes with you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you guys are lying to yourself if there's something that you've been trying to do in the past that really you're not interested in, and you're trying to maintain and show this face of like, yeah, I like it, but it's like, it's messing with you at night. You're lying to yourself, I feel like, for others of you, I think that this situation, whatever it is, it's almost like you are putting yourself through this energy and would rather go through it because you don't want to make other people uncomfortable. You don't want to start any fights or spark anything in anybody else, because Libra is very much like, well, it's good, girl, I can take it. I can handle it. But no, how many people say that for us? We're always trying to balance our fucking scales. out for everybody else. And then other people will just let us because they'll be like, oh, that's her thing. That's what she does. You don't realize, yes, Libras are the scales. Yes, our charge to this world and our, what we bring is the balance. But the thing is, we can only bring the balance when we're balanced within ourselves. Instead of trying to always externally balance out the things that are outside of us, whether it be the people or the job or whatever, if we don't feel balanced within, nothing else is going to be balanced. And Libra is very much that sign that they need to bring balance, and they need to be balanced because we bring balance to the rest of the community. Like, we bring the balance. That is who we are. Right? So it's like, kind of like, you can't pour from an empty cup mentality. If Libras want to be balanced, they have to be balanced on the inside. It always starts from within. Always, always, always. And that Libra energy and that Libra charisma is able to, fan out or whatever. But if you're worried about other people, if you're worried about it looking a certain way, if you're worried about anything, you can't move forward. Remember, Beyonce's on HBO. She's not on Showtime, right? So if there's any anxiety surrounding things that you need to do or things that are happening, you're creating resistance in that, okay? Final outcome, 10 of Swords. So we see a progression from the 9 of Swords to the 10 of Swords, which is good because honestly, this is the completion. Really, the 9 of Swords is the completion, right? The 10 of Swords is that completion and a new beginning. Think about it. It's a 10 nets to a 1. So while it's a 10 and it's the end, it also nets to a 1, which means a beginning. This energy of the 9, where you guys are kind of focused on with all these thoughts swirling to where it's kind of driving you crazy, this is a more miserable energy than this. This is like, that pain body is so great. You're at the very tip of the labor. I'm done. It's numb. It's over. You know what I mean? So although they're swords, and I don't like a 9 of Swords, and I don't like a 10 of Swords, I do like that we are seeing this progression of, we've got all this stuff on our mind. It's fucking us up every night. We've gained clarity. We're surrounded by people who give it to us straight, no chaser, with this Queen of Swords energy. Realizing that we have to be balanced within ourselves before we can be worried about anybody else with this 5 of Wands and all this fighting and bickering and stuff. Also, being aware that it doesn't serve us to fight and bicker with ourselves internally, because then we can't get to what we need to do, right? Which leads us to the final realization of the 10 of Wands or 10 of Swords, where it's time for a new thought process. Okay? I'm curious. I would really like to clarify some things. I want to clarify first this 4 of Cups in the present. Page of Wands. So yeah, it's like almost like these new things that are coming to you, you're not interested. And it's almost because I feel like you need the clarity. It's a lot of Libras aren't clear on exactly what it is they want to do. They have good ideas. I feel like there's good ideas swirling, but it isn't until you say, I decide this and I want this, that you'll start to see that in your space, and you'll start to see those things from the universe. What are we having strength for in the future? Strength for. Why does Libra have the strength card in the future? The moon. So this could be over a Pisces, or even a Cancer, or even a Scorpio. It could be any water sign, really, even though this is a Pisces card. I heavily think of Cancer, though, too, because it's the moon and they're ruled by the moon. I really feel like in the future there may be some secrets coming out. So there may be secrets coming out. Let's say if you're dealing with a Leo, that's a really big possibility. It could be that you're dealing with a Pisces or Cancer or Scorpio. It also could be that through going through this phase of evolving, you're going to really need strength through it. Like through going and kind of turning down the things that you don't want to deal with. It could be a process that's a little bit more trying for you than you would think. That involves a little bit more strength on your part. Nine of Swords. Why are we focused on Nine of Swords? Why is Libra focused on Nine of Swords? Stuck. What the fuck, Libra? All these swords. You're focused on these things because you won't just loosen yourself up. Eight of Swords, this person can get out of this trap. I mean, there's a castle right behind them. All they have to do is wiggle out of these fucking bandages. The swords aren't really holding them all in there. Like, they could literally walk out, but it's like you're blinded by your own thoughts, trapped by your own thoughts. This is why you guys feel like shit. It's self-inflicted. So you can decide. The Libra mind is so strong and so dynamic. Libras, air signs in generals, are just fucking clutch when it comes to that. It's like you have the power to control your thoughts. You have the power to shift your thoughts. You have the power to shift, your perception of things. And Libra is really good at that. Out of every sign, we're the most able to kind of put ourselves in the perspective of others. And I feel like it's almost like that's what you need to do. So it's like if being in your place in your mind right now is too painful, look at your situation from a different angle, somewhere where you are able to actually look at the silver lining and appreciate it for what it is, because this is just a mess. You know what I mean? Like 8, 9, and 10 of Swords. Come on, bro. And then what is this 5 of Wands? Hopes and fears. What are you guys afraid of? This chaos, this fighting. What is this? Just feeling like you have too much on your plate, right? Too many responsibilities. Could be an air sign, a fire sign that you feel is kind of in the way of y'all shit, but feeling like there's just so many things going on and so many responsibilities and everything's unorganized and chaotic. Like when you look at these people fighting, I can't tell who's fighting who. I don't even know if they can tell who's fighting who, right? It's like you could actually accidentally be sticking your little friend or whatever. It's like almost like you guys have so much shit going on, but it's really your thoughts, but it's making you feel dizzy. Like y'all feel dizzy, right? Around something. Could be financial, could be love. So what I did is I also pulled Angels of Abundance card from Doreen Virtue. Face your financial fears, okay? It says, when you are honest with yourself about the fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good word. So again, if this pertains to these new things, that you've been trying to put an effort in, but not sure if you want, it's really about facing those financial fears, not letting them stack up and become 8, 9, and 10 of Swords energy, right? It's about just really manning up or womaning up on the situation and being like, you know what? Because a lot of times fear and thoughts are so much worse than the actual what's going on, right? And then we've got deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Now, this is relationship, but I honestly feel like it goes back to a lot of those of you who are trying to put in work on things and really not knowing if that's really what you want or what you're feeling like, but just kind of going based off of what you feel like other people are telling you to do. This could be, I feel like a lot of you guys, of course, if it's a relationship, it could be that someone's lying to you and being shady. That could be the cause of all these swords. But it could be just you guys really lying to yourself about what it is that you want to do and what steps you want to take going forward, which is also a problem. So really getting clear, if you've got a great person in your life, like a mother figure, auntie, somebody who's older, knowledgeable, kind of went through the shit, very blunt, loves you, but honest through love. I'd be really open to the things and the jewels that they're dropping on you. It would be worth a listen. Because it seems like you could be in a situation where either other people are lying to you, or it's like you're lying to yourself trying to go with the flow of what other people's expectations are of you. Hey, Libra. So, yeah, stop letting yourself have it this month. I see lots of swords and only like, so see lots of swords, a few wands, like a pentacle and a cup. Get into your feelings more, okay? Um, work with and surround yourself with things that feel good, and that's it. Drop the sword energy. Okay, Libra. I love you guys, and I will see you next month. If any of you guys would like a personal reading, please email me. I'm available. You can look at my About tab, and I've got my menu of services, pricing, and all that. And you can hit me on the email, and I can hit you back about availability, and we can just get it started. Okay? Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you in June. Bye, babes.